What's going on, everyone? It's Mo. I know I haven't posted any SMMA content in a while. That's kind of why I wanted to post this video. But essentially, if you don't know me already, my name is Mo. I ran an agency for over 2 years, scaling from 0 to 40K a month in under 5 months. But essentially, now I'm on to bigger things, and I'm going to go ahead and break it down to you guys in this video so you guys have a clear understanding of everything. But in this video, I'm going to go over everything that's broken about the SMMA model and who it's for and who it's not for, and essentially exactly what I'm doing now and what's going to help me scale to a number that I can't hit with SMMA that anyone can do. To be honest, anyone can do this. It doesn't cost any money to start. But the main thing is that if you can't honestly like just sit down a video, I'm not gonna have any edits or any flashy stuff on here. If you need that on your screen, then you honestly kind of cooked already. Might as well click off. There's no point. But it's gonna break down the first thing. The problem with a SMMA with an agency, that you saw this like a service, is that you're stuck on a model where essentially you have to keep increasing your clients for you to make more money, right? And if you really look at it, right, top agency owners that you know or that you used to know, what are they doing now? They're not running an SMMA. And SMMA is a cash flow thing. You grab money and then you get the fuck out and go somewhere else. Go to a bigger model, a better model, just something else. And SPMA was never meant for anyone to go ahead and actually build a real company. Now, the problem with my agency that I ran was that, yes, it was great, but I wake up every day actually shitting my pants. Like, I'm shitting my pants because there's so much shit going wrong, or this is going right, or XYZ is going right, or XYZ is not going right, this and this is not going right, this guy's not getting results, XYZ and XYZ. And that it becomes, you get in a trap where, like, you just have to keep signing clients. That's the main issue that I was going through. And also is that, yes, you make money, but name me one agency that's really taking home at least 100K a month profit. You can't, because it's almost impossible. It's just because the model is that, like, an agency doing 150K a month, they're probably taking home maybe 30 grand a month. When all the efforts that he's doing to get, like, at 150K a month, trust me, his life is miserable. He hates his life. I know a whole bunch of agency owners that scaled to 250K a month, and they're literally telling me they fucking hate it and they fucking left. Like, instantly. Mine, yes, it ran great. We cashed like 300K in about like, I'll say 11 months or 12 months or so. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was more than that, but I don't remember exactly like the exact numbers. And also, our profits were really great. Like, our profit margins were insane, like almost 80%. Actually, like 70 to 80%. Um, but yes, there was a lot of profits, but also the fulfillment wasn't as good. It's just because of, I said, people that essentially that were signing on to the agency are just not people that are really meant to be signed. But the agency space has gotten to the point, especially the roofing niche has gotten to the point where you kind of have to sign those people, you kind of have to sign those people for you to survive, right? So essentially, and also you're capped if you're selling retainers. Let's say, for example, right, you get a client and he's paying, let's say, 5K a month, right? And he's spending, actually no, let's just pay about 2K a month. That's the base one, right? And spending about 2K on ad spend, right? Now, if he wants to scale and get more appointments, you scale his ad spend means you do more work, but it's very hard for you to scale his retainer, right? You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's very hard for you to scale his retainer, but instead, if you sell, let's say, leads, or you sell phone calls, or something that's like a per XYZ, you scale, like, as they spend more, you make more. It's like a linear thing. It's not like a refer, like, for example, like in the agency space, where essentially you sign someone for 2K a month, he spends, let's say, 2K a month, he likes the results, he wants to spend maybe 10K a month now, but you can only really charge him like $1,000 more, because then it's gonna be like, whoa, 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 like, why are you increasing like the cost on me? And now you're just a slave to him, right? And also, he can wake up tomorrow and say, I don't want your thing. You just lost 2 to 5K, maybe up to 10K of your monthly revenue gone in one day, right? Now, essentially, what is the solution to that, right? The solution of your, I guess, agency is that you need to start selling, like, a product that, yes, it's a need. Like, for example, like, inside agency, like, ads is a need, but you need to have a model where essentially you get paid as they make more money. Not a pay on performance, right? Yes, you can run one of those, but that's not exactly what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that you run a model where essentially is that, let's say for example, a pay per lead model, right? That's an amazing model. It works great. I know agencies that, like, for example, like, I don't know if you guys, like, there's a bunch of agencies that have quit the whole retainer model and I've changed the pay per lead. I've scaled to like 800K a month, like that, right? Now, even the biggest roofing agency that you guys may know right now, if you're starting SMA, they sell appointments, but they don't sell a package of retainers. They sell basically pay per appointment because they have realized that if they want to make more money and scale their actual companies and scale their agency, they have to sell something like on a per basis. So me right now, I sell phone calls. I do pay per call, right? And I sell leads on the side too at the same time. But essentially, on pay per call, I sell basically I get paid per phone call, right? I built a whole software around it. Um, I'm gonna I film a whole video, but pay per call is very easy to learn. It's I mean it's not as very easy, but it's very easy to get into it because you don't really need any cash. Because this is the best part about it is that I don't even run ads to get calls. I barely run ads. Like we get a little bit of traffic internal, but most of traffic, like most of the calls that I sell, I don't even get them myself. It means I don't even spend my own money. I don't even risk my own money in the ads manager. Number two, I don't even spend eight, like I try to get the calls, but like at first when I was trying to learn it, I hope you guys realize how much time and effort I have to put into it. But I don't even have to spend all day on ads. All I have to do is find people that buy the calls and essentially connect them on my software. It's very simple. There's a bunch of agencies. I mean, it's a bunch of people that do the whole pay per call stuff where you don't even need a software. Like trust me, you don't need a software. It's the model I'm doing it and how I'm going to scale to half a mil a month. Essentially, having a software makes things a lot easier. But like you don't need software. Like at first, like I didn't even have a software for a very long time. But essentially is that I still have a phone call, right? So does someone call a publisher, right? A publisher is the one that he's the one that gets the calls and everything like that, right? So he gets the calls. He spends, his ad spend and everything like that, and I pay him a set amount. So let's say, for example, if I'm publisher A right here, I said 35 bucks a call. So every call he sends me, um, essentially I pay him a essentially based a set fee of 35 bucks. But now the sweet part about it is that every call he sends me has a buffer period. So essentially how I sell it to an agent, a buyer, is essentially, hey, I've called XYZ. You have XYZ time XYZ amount of time to go and qualify that lead. If it's qualified, you take that call, everything's great, everything's smooth. And then he just pays me on that call. So I sell the call here for maybe 60 bucks. I get it for 35, right? So essentially, it's like I get it for 35, I sell it for 60. If he buys 100, he pays me 100. He pays for 100 calls. So how much is that? That's six. That's about six. That's about $6,000. My fault. And I pay this guy on $3,000, and I keep the difference. The difference is mine because essentially why I get paid is that I'm getting paid for managing this guy and connecting him with the buyer, but he has no idea who the buyer is. Like I mean, also he has no idea who the publisher is. A publisher is the one that's running the ads, right? Now, why is this golden? And it's the same way for leads, right? Even when I sell leads, I get the leads for XYZ and I resell them for XYZ because that's the business you want to be in. But this is where it essentially all becomes money. Is that you have to realize this mainly works if you go in an industry that's hungry for your product, like hungry for what you're trying to sell, right? Yes, it works in like almost every single niche, but it will work the best in the hungriest niche ever. Now, a good example: law firms, insurance, home service. Those like you have to realize those people rely on leads for them to make money. Without any money, those people like they actually like I mean what's called without any leads, those people do not make a single dollar. I hope you guys realize that. If those people don't have leads, they don't make a single dollar, especially in insurance and law, right? Law firms spend a lot of money on ads. Insurance people, they sell a shit ton of money. I'm in insurance, that's the niche I'm in. It's just because I just know a lot about it and I already had a lot of connections in insurance. So I kind of got into the insurance space. Essentially, like, I sell leads, but these people, they rely on leads. Like, it's to the point where essentially, if let's say I don't have enough of the product, right? Enough of the phone calls, so I'll get a text message like, yo, like I need calls. Because without leads, they don't make money. So essentially, I'm an essential piece of their income and their lives, right? Now, in the retainer model with a, what's called like SMMA, Um, I what's it called? I built a what's it called? So on SMMA, you're signing, let's say, roofers, right? Where yes, he needs leads, right? But without your leads, he can still operate. Like he can still operate, you know. But insurance is that like they need to buy leads. Like essentially, he's buying your leads or somebody else's leads. Even in roofing, like he's buying essentially, um, buying your leads or somebody else's leads. But it's just that that model just cooked also like just on the retainer stuff, right? A really good example of this will be I have a good friend named Gian. He sold it's not really I mean it's not like a I mean now he's a friend of mine, but essentially he booked a call on my what's it called on my service trying to buy calls from me, but essentially he just wanted coaching, right? Just some kid that he sold he's selling leads in insurance and he willing to get the paper call and everything like that. Essentially I was like, yeah, like I'll definitely help you out at the end of the day. I don't really care. And I'm always up to help someone out. Now essentially he completely stopped selling leads at the because like he's doing like a retainer model. Like he stopped doing the whole retainer stuff. Like the I charge 2K, I run their ads and blah blah blah. And he got into pay per call. And he got into pay per call early of last month. And this month he's already at like 9K or maybe like 10K already. And especially the best part is that tomorrow, of the people that he already signed that tried his leads, the guy wants to buy $13,000 worth of calls for next week alone, only for next week, right? And he wants to spend 25K every single week on those calls. So with one client, that's 100K a month, probably net profit 25 to 30 off that. With just like it, I want y'all to realize that with one person about to make 100K a month, I have buyers that are buying my leads every single week, every single day, and they keep buying it, and they will always keep buying it. Is that like essentially like, they will always keep buying my leads as long as they are in the industry. My biggest competitor did 20 mil last year. So 20 mil while doing the same thing is that he's just essentially just reselling calls, you know, or just maybe like he's selling leads. Even let's say for example, like the biggest agencies are selling leads or calls. That's the only thing they're doing because that's the only thing you should be doing if you actually want to scale something. Now you don't need money to get into any of these stuff. Like any of these stuff, you don't need money to get into this. Like you don't need any money. Trust me. Anyone can start this, right? And if I were to start from zero, I would like if let's say I knew about this model, I would not start an SMMA. It's kind of why I'm doing this video. Unless you're in a position where you need cash, you need money ASAP, where like you have to get out into like a deep situation you're in. That's the only time I recommend starting an agency because you get a lot of cash up front. But if you're trying to build something that's long term that can actually exit, go into you selling leads or calls. That's the only way you are going to actually make a lot of money, and it's how you can actually exit something essentially. But yeah, it's kind of like the whole, I guess, the whole story about me leaving the whole SMMA space. Yes, I was making great money. I'm saying money was great. But now I'm making a lot more honestly than I was making on my agency. Um, and also it's just that life has been a lot better. I barely hop on meetings. I mean, I hop on meetings, but it's all back end work. Any meeting I hop on, it's not really a sales call because I'm not trying to like say, hey, you gotta buy this for 8 grand or 9 grand or 5K piff me. I'm just running ads. I mean, what's it called? I'm just this is what I have. It's very low ticket. You just pay as you go. Did you want it or not? Yes, boom, boom. I get you on board into a system like that. You know, but this is an industry where people are making millions and millions of dollars in pay per call, and pay per lead. So you have to leave the whole retainer model. And if you're watching this right now, and you have an estimate that's doing 20, 30, 40, 50, 80K a month, even if you're maybe doing even maybe if you're doing maybe 10K a month, run it for a few more months, go and scale it up, and come back and watch this video again. And trust me, you're gonna start to actually relate to every single problem and pain point I told you. A good friend of mine scaled his agency to so essentially I scaled mine to 40. I was on great numbers and he kind of he has to get to space. He just hit about like 85K last month or like a few months ago, and he's selling it and getting out of it because is that it's just a cooked model. It's a model for you to get cash and get the fuck out. But this is what you need to do. You need to get into a model and get into a niche or like a niche where essentially it's a need, like a need product like insurance, home service, or law. Just a niche that relies on your service and relies on your leads, because you're go- that's how you're gonna actually make the money you want to make. This is only for people that really want to make money, not for people that make 5K a month. If you want to make a shit ton of money, that's exactly how you do it. But I appreciate watching this video. I hope you guys learned something. And if I was any value to you, go in a comment and please let me know. I'll be dropping more videos, obviously. But yeah, that's essentially why this is the whole reason on why I stopped running my SMMA. And now I run a whole paper call and paper lead operation.